Hello everyone. In this video we are going to talk about module pool programming. So before I go ahead, I would like to share with you that I have been receiving some very positive feedback, and then I attached the screenshot of one of them on the Google site, and I'm very happy that people with like more experience, especially who are like more experienced than me, are also getting some kind of benefit out of this whole exercise. So thank you guys for staying with me, following my videos, and then I'm sure that it's going to help you. At the same time, I would also like to share a different experience. People have been sending emails to me uh, for different things. The quick one I try to reply immediately, but the one which requires effort I'm not able to because I'm really short of time. And in many cases I have seen people are asking for some kind of documents or PDFs or PPTs. So friends, PDFs, PPTs, documents, I always felt bored to these things, so that's the reason I came up with the concept of recording the complete exercise, the complete flow on a YouTube video, so that you can see things happening in front of you, and then you don't need to go through those boring documents. So I do have everything, but then I'm not going to recommend it to anyone, and I'm not going to share it also because it's of no use. And then also it doesn't help me doing all these things, so my effort is going to be useless in that case. So if you are okay, please go ahead and then go through my videos. I'm sure that you really don't need to refer any document to start with, but then if you really want some kind of documents, then I think you would be good enough to go ahead and then search it on the Google, because almost everything is available on the Google. But then immediately documents and PPTs, it's not going to help because it's too boring. You'll see a lot of flowcharts, diagram, and then a lot of theory over there. So till now I think it was very rare when I used a PPT. I think in initial one or two classes, and then I think for BAPI, but then in rest of the tutorials I try to avoid PPTs and PDFs. So just stay with me, be with me, follow me, and then it's going to help for sure. So don't get into all this mess up like documents and PPTs. If you have any problem, Google it out. It will be available on SCN, that is SAP Community Network. Almost every problem, you'll find a solution there. Almost is the keyword here. Not everything, but then it's not limited also. Almost everything. So so let's talk about the screen programming in today's session. So we are going to talk about the flow of the screens, and the same concept or the same base is also leveraged in SAP screen programming. So we'll forget SAP for a moment, and then just imagine what happens when you are going to open a website, which means you are launching a website. So what happens? You you go to the browser, you give the website name, and then you hit enter or control plus enter, something like this. Then you see the website. Fine. Now if you talk about SAP, so when you log into SAP, you come to this screen. So I can say that this is a browser, this is a basic browser, and in this browser I'm going to type my website name. So here website name means my command name. So when I give a command here, SAP executes that command. Similarly, in the browser, when you give a website name and hit control enter, that browser compiles that website and then presents it in front of you. So here you do different things. Here you hit enter by giving the command name. So let's say /NSE38 and then you hit enter. Now most of the cases, whatever you see in front of you, and if that signifies or that notifies or that correlates to a screen, which means a screen number and a program name, then you can also design that. So for that you go to System, Status, and then here you will see a lot of details. So forget about this username, time zone and all, but it gives me the program name and it also gives me the screen number. So these two things are important here, and it gives the T code name. So the moment you see a screen number here, you double click on that. So you double click on that and then you'll see this kind of screen wherein you'll be having attributes. In the attributes you will see like what kind of screen it is. Whether it's a normal screen or it's a sub screen or it's a dialog box or it's a selection screen. So we have different options here. So as of now we are talking about a normal screen. You'll see different attributes here, the description, language, created by, changed by, generation date, and blah blah blah. And it also gives you like starting row, column, and all those things, the package which it belongs to. And then if you go to element list, it will contain lot of elements on the screen. We will be talking about it, no problem. And then if you go to flow logic, so flow logic basically contains the coding related to your screen programming or module pool programming or dialog programming. Now if you hit on layout, it will take you to the screen layout editor or screen editor or module pool editor or not front end editor we can say, but I have seen people saying that as well. So if you click on layout, you come here. Now I want you to have a look at it, and then I am going to open a new window. So guys, once again I want to re-emphasize on this: no documents, PDFs, PPTs, please, no bullshit. Only we talk about the things which make sense and then which is going to help us. If you are stuck at any point, please go ahead and then Google it out. You will definitely find a solution on SCN or any other website. But don't try to refer this nonsense stuff, nonsense material somebody has prepared and uploaded it somewhere and then you want to refer it. I have seen people dumping it in their folders, but then till the time you don't have a practical exposure of the things, it's not going to help. Theory is not going to help if you don't know the practical. So what I'm trying to explain is it's a mix and match of both theory and practical. Why I am again saying it again and again, because I received a couple of emails. Few of the emails were rude also, and I really didn't like them. But then anyways, I'm going ahead with my activity because my target is to help everyone who needs it. So okay, so no documents, only the real stuff. So I'm going to SE38 now, again in a new session. So you see this screen and you see this editor. So I have a program here. Let me see if I can. Okay, I can, I believe. Okay. So it's a screen painter and you have a look at here. So we have a program. You can see program. This blank space where you can pass the program name. The create button. Sub object. Source code variant, everything. So these are radio buttons. Display change. So what I'm trying to say here is the layout editor provided by SAP is the same editor which SAP consultants or the original SAP developers would have used to design the screens which are available as a part of standard SAP package. So whatever they used, they have also provided us so that we can also leverage it. The only limitation here is that whatever we will design, it will start either with a Z or Y, which means Z and Y. So okay, now if I click on the flow logic again, so I'll come back to this screen, no doubt, which is obvious. Now I'm going back to my notepad. So guys, please try to understand, when I go to my browser and then I give a website name, so what exactly happens in the moment you hit enter? So the moment you hit enter, what system does, or that browser does, it will go and compile all the code in the backend related to this website. So it will pick the code from server and compile it and show final output in front of you. Makes sense? So the moment you hit enter, it goes and compiles all the code and then shows it in front of you, and then you see the website. Now if in the website, if you go and give a let's say username, password, and hit enter, then what it does, it will go and you hit enter again, so it will go and validate the credentials using the code and then show the output in front of you. So one second. So I came to this browser. This browser is blank. By default, system takes me to this screen. This screen is blank. So this the browser was blank here. The screen is blank here. And the moment I come here and then I give a browser name, not browser name, sorry, website name, let's say facebook.com, and so I give it and then I hit enter. So system goes and compiles all the code, and then, oh my god, what is this? Oh my god, it's a big snake. Okay. So system so system the moment you give the website name and hit enter, the browser, it downloads all the code, the source code from the server, and then compiles it and shows the final output in front of you. Okay, and then if you hit so basically you'll see this page. So facebook.com means you'll see this page. This is the default page. This is the output of the compilation of the code which lies in the back end of this website. And then here you give so here you come and then give the ID and password, and then if you click on login, then system again takes this, goes back in the coding, using the code, it verifies the credentials by connecting to the server and all, and then it displays the output in front of you. So this is how normally it happens in a real-time scenario. Same way, I come here, I give SE38 and I hit enter. So system goes and compiles all the code for SE38 and then displays the output. So basically we have two things here. Compile the code. This is one. So you enter and then it compiles the code. This is first step. and then it displays the output. This is my second step. So before displaying the output, it will do couple of other things also, like putting it into the frame web page and different frames, the layout and all, because every web page will have different layout. So those things will be done here. So now if I go to the screen, and then if I try to compare these things, so basically these are going to notify, or these are going to signify the events in my module pool programming. So the moment you hit enter and system compiles the code, I'll call it process after input, which is this event. Same way like we used to have in the reports, we have 4 events here. So we have process after input here, which means the moment you enter some value on the screen and you hit enter, this piece of code is going to be triggered. Now the other event is before it displays the output, I'll call it process before output. So these are the 2 major events in module pool programming: process after input, which is basically the moment you give some value and hit enter. Process before output means before it displays the screen. So now it could be like before it displays the screen for the first time or for the n number of time, doesn't matter, but this event is going to be triggered for that particular screen. And let's say you are navigating around different screens. For example, you are at screen A, and then you went there, entered some value, and then hit enter. It will do a process after input of A, and then if it's calling the screen B, then it will do a process before output of screen B. Makes sense, right? So these are the 2 major events in module pool. The third event which comes into picture is POH, process on help request. Fourth one is POV, process on value request. So help request is whenever you want to press F1, you want to see some help, then this event will be triggered. Whenever you want to see the possible values, POV, then this event will be triggered. So from my agenda today, I'm working on the dialog programming, module pool programming. In this I want to also show you the select option, table control, simple screen navigation, chain and chain, and of course it won't complete in one day, it will take time. So now I have explained it many times and you should be clear of the events. It's going to be an interview question every time you tell the interviewer that you have worked on dialog programming or module pool programming or screen programming. So these events are going to come into picture. Now how do we design the screen? Let's move ahead and then design a very simple screen. We can also design this screen, but then no need to make it complex. Let's go ahead with the simple screen. So we are going to go to SAP. So we have this SAT screen now. So guys, whenever you see me going to SAT for a standard transaction and you see the program name, you can see that it's, and if it's a module pool program, it will start with SAP M. So SAP means SAP, obviously M means module pool program. So the nomenclature for a custom module pool program would be SAP M Z or Y, SAP MZ, and then you can mention like test underscore, let's say MM. We are not going to discuss MM in this, but then MM module underscore report, something like this. You give a program name like this, a module pool program name like this, hit enter. So it's going to start with SAP MZ or SAP MY. It could be an interview question, please do remember this. Hit OK. With top include yes, which will come like this. So SAP will be removed from this MZ. OK. And then the type would be module pool. Earlier we used to do an executable program. This is going to be a module pool program. You can change the title here. Our first dialog program, save local. Okay, done. So you'll see a screen like this, which you used to see earlier also. But the difference between module pool program and executable program, the basic difference is, obviously the module pool program is going to have a set of screens which will be interlinked via flow, like first screen, third screen, second screen, something like that. So there would be a flow between the screens, and then it will start with SAP M, then Z or Y. And the other difference between module pool and executable program is, executable program you can go and then put it on SE38, and then if you try to execute, it will work. But then for a module pool programming, it won't work without a T code. So if I try to execute this now, it will say that it's not a report program, it's type M. So we need a T code to run this program. So whenever we define a T code, we also need a screen. So anyways, first we will design a screen. Now in the module pool programming, we will be using all the four includes. Earlier we were using only F01 for subroutine, O01 and I01 was commented earlier, but now we are going to use all four. So let's just create it quickly. So activate this. So once this is activated, do a right click here, go to create screen. So normally we try to provide the screen number starting from 9, which denotes that it's going to be a custom screen. Could be 0901 or 9001 or whatever. Up to you, whatever screen number you want to give, it's okay. So 9001. So you have to make sure that the particular screen number should not have been created or already. So this is the screen you need to provide the attributes. You can make it like selection screen, make it a normal screen. Element list, you need to give the SciUCOM detail. So SciUCOM we represent with OK underscore code in module pool. Flow logic, it will come like this, and click on layout. So you will see the layout editor. It's a very simple screen editor, and if you guys are good with the concept of internal table and work area, there is nothing special in screen programming. I keep on saying this, there is nothing special in the whole ABAP programming. It's very simple. It's made for everyone. People from any field, any background can learn ABAP and then start working. I'm not sure about the break, whether they will get or not, but then it's as simple as that. So when I come to this layout editor, I want to design a selection screen very similar to our report screen. For now, we are going to put a simple parameter. So if I click on this, it's an input and output. It's an input and output field. Click on this. Come here. Create an input and output field. Double click on this. It will open the properties. So this is one way you can give like input 1, something like this, and then click on this text, drag and drop like this, double click here, T1 material, something like this. You can drag and drop to adjust the layout. Go back to flow logic. Activate it completely. So now I have a screen number 9001. Next step is to create a transaction. So GMTEST. Module pool test program. So basically it's going to be a program and screen because it's a dialog transaction. We are talking about dialog programming. Hit OK. Program name copy from here. Provide here screen number 9001. Select all the GUIs. You are going to support all the GUIs. Save it. So just remember that transaction codes will be saved. It's not going to be activated because ultimately it's going to refer the active components like screen number and program name. So if you double click on the transaction and if you hit on this, so you will see a screen like this. So this is the screen we created, material, and then this input. You can give some input here, but how it's going to tackle it we have not defined. And you can also see that these buttons are deactivated because we need to activate these buttons on our own in the screen programming. So we are going to do it slowly, step by step. So I'm again going to /NSCET. I come to this screen. So go to the screen number, go to the layout. As of now it's in display mode. Make sure you know the difference here. Click on change so that it comes into change mode. Just drag and drop and select. So sorry, no drag and drop, just you have to select like this, and then if you click on delete, it's gone. Next thing is, if you come to this one, dictionary program field, click on this, go to a table MARA. So you have to give a table or field name. So you are providing the table name, get from dictionary, and you are selecting this particular field. Mara Matner. Hit OK. So you can drag and drop it on your screen. So this is also another way of creating an input option by clicking this button. Now if you double click here, you can come to this screen and then you can, as of now, input field means it's possible to make some input in this, but we can make it required or mandatory. And then you close this, so you can see this question mark means it's mandatory, and because we are referring this field to the standard Mara-Matner, then it's going to inherit the properties of the standard field, and we'll see how. Go back to flow logic again, activate this. So you can see a different kind of screen here, which looks much better, and SAP also relies on this concept. And then if you see a search help, it's coming automatically. So this is what I was trying to say. This is actually inheriting the property of the standard database table and the field. So that basically minimizes our work here. Otherwise, if you are referring to a custom field, we need to create a search help, or we need to provide a search help at runtime, some kind of thing. But in here it's happening automatically. So this is the same search help which you see normally in MM01 or any other screen. Again SE80. Come here. Next thing is create GUI status or GUI title first, which means whatever title you want to display. Title code is G title. Hit OK. So the title will be embedded in this. Now next thing is GUI status. G status, short text is status, normal screen. So you will see option like this, which will contain your main menu bar, application toolbar, and function keys. Function keys basically F1, F2. You want to define the functionality. Application toolbar and menu bar, basically the menu and all. First of all, we are going to talk about the standard toolbar. This is our execute button, so we denote it like ENTR. So this is basically the SciUCOM we are entering here. So generally in debugging you will see the value of SciUCOM. We are providing the value here, ENTR for this, SAVE for this floppy button, back, exit, cancel. Leave this printer and all, it's okay. So enter save, back, exit, cancel. So save it. Or if we can see, okay, enter, hit enter. So click on this icon name F4. You will see all the icons available here. So basically execute, we want to select this icon execute object. Okay, save it, activate this. Now go back to your program again, go to the screen, double click here. So this is the current situation of our screen. We are doing some changes here. Uncomment this one and double click here. So basically you are doing this under PBO, then you hit OK, and then you'll see an include with O01. So select that include O01. For PAI you want to select an include with I01. So right now it's PBO, we are going into O01, hit OK. Yes. So by default you'll see that two things are created here. It's basically being done by standard ABAP macros. So PF status, we have already created a status here, G status, title, G title. So status means G status, title, G title. Activate this. Now if I see, you can see this is how the screen looks like. Now if I go to my T code and execute this, you can see that this save, back, exit, cancel, and then this one, enter. So these buttons are active now, and then if we click this, so something should happen, but anyway it's a mandatory field on this, so nothing will happen. If I click on cancel, then also it's saying that, so that is fine. We'll go back to SAT again. Let's close this window. So right now what we did something in PBO, which means, and then other thing which you need to know here is that you will see something with module. So module is very similar to our performs. So very similar to the subroutines which we were using in the report. Here you will see the modules. So whenever we run this screen, so for example, if I go to so basically if I go to here system, what system does, it will come to this screen programming, it will go and hit PBO because it's going to display the screen in front of you. It will go to PBO, and then in the PBO it will go to the status. In this it will go and load the status bar and title bar, and then it will go and load the layout and display it in front of you like this. So this is the PBO. Now next is PAI, which means you are clicking on these things, process after input. You are giving some input on the screen and you are expecting something to happen. So just remember that module pool is basically user driven. User has to drive it by the commands. So uncomment this one, double click this. So this is a part of input, which means PAI. Select this, hit OK. So you'll see this screen. Here you need to write a case statement, case OK underscore code. Why OK underscore code? Because we have defined it OK underscore code here, and whatever else you define in the screen, it will be copied automatically here. Type, text, input, output, everything will come here automatically. And OK underscore. Now system also needs to know what is an OK underscore code. So we need to go to include, we need to go to top, just define data So OK underscore code types IUCOM, which means OK underscore code is like a variable here now. So this is the standard way of doing the thing. So just do it like this. So I'm going back to screen with user command case OK underscore code when back exit or so when we are hitting on the back exit or cancel, then leave to leave program, simple. We want to quit the program as of now. So when we load this transaction again, give some values here, hit enter, and then if you click on this, we are leaving the program. So now we came out of it. So this way, if I click this, okay, obviously we need to give some value here because it's mandatory field. Click this, you'll come out. Click this, you'll come out. So now you know what is GUI status, what is GUI title, what is OK code, what is the exit command. Okay, now okay, how much time we spent today? So 42 minutes, I think. Let's leave it here itself. For now, your task is to understand the concept and then try to design this simple screen which we designed today. In the next session, we are going to modify the screen and try to make it more complex and try to add the navigation between 2-3 screens and try to understand some other concepts, and then we'll go to table control, and then by then you will be capable of handling any other scenario. Then you can try tab strip and all on your own, and then I'll move to smart form and script. So thank you guys for being with me, and then see you again tomorrow.